All right. Wyrmwood. The Australian-based zombie movies. I'm sorry. Yeah, his burp just made me laugh.
Did I burp?
Yeah,
I did.
you did.
I'm start over.
It's a whiskey burp.
From the beginning. Katie's just actually laughing at us.
I got the whiskey burps.
He's like,
I got the vodka burps.
man.
I got the cider burps. I got the lager burps.
I got lots of blooper reels
I got
this
the
week.
burps that remind us of the good times.
Did I not
burps
tell
that
you
remind
that-
us of the better times?
This is going to be one of our best episodes, and it's the one we fucked up the worst. All right.
SMP 113. We fucked up.
Never drink whiskey and record a podcast.
Oh, no. We always
drink whiskey. Yeah.
and record a podcast. All right.
That's it. We're doing it every week. It just brings
You're
a
gonna
different.
need a bigger bottle.
Oh, I gotta know fresh. I got a fresh bottle of that at home.
Do you?
I'm bringing it next week.
God damn it. What are we talking about next week?
It's
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell Western.
Kurt Russell Western drinking High West whiskey.
Hell yeah, bro.
All right, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and tune in next week because that's
That's
going to be
gonna be
lit.
great. But we're talking Australian zombies.
Yeah, Australian zombies. Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead. Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
2014 Wyrmwood Road of the Dead, not rated, with a runtime of 1 hour 38 minutes. This had a budget of $1.4 million. What do you think this brought in?
Did not have a budget of $1.4 million.
Okay.
It looks like it.
Why don't you just take over?
It had a budget of $160,000. What do you think it grossed?
I'm going to say, I have no idea. This is a made-for-TV movie, but it should...
Sorry.
500 million or 500,000. Sorry, $500,000.
I have no clue. I have no clue.
So
600 grand.
It grossed $111,000.
Wow.
Okay,
That is
Jude, where did you
unfortunate.
get your numbers from?
Google, the Lord of Questions,
1 point.
says $1.4 million.
Is that budget? Or,
Yes,
What
budget.
do you have to say about that, Katie?
Inquiring minds want to know.
So
Did you get your figures from IMDb, which we have now
Debunked.
It is canon that it is bullshit.
I got it from an Australian news story where basically this movie was shot over the course of 5 years on the weekends because it was like a super low budget, like labor of love that these people did. And one of the funny things about this movie that we're going to talk about in a bit is that actors basically got killed off because they got better gigs over the course of the 5 years that they were making this movie. So
Nice.
Yeah, this has the same vibe as Bad Taste.
It does.
No, it does not.
Yeah. No, not in like a bad way, but I mean like
Oh no, it's a better version.
Yeah.
For
Oh, yeah.
sure.
But I'm saying like that creation process is exactly how Bad
I
Taste
like
got
that.
made. Yeah.
I want to hear Jude's synopsis though.
Okay. Yeah, let's listen to the synopsis. Take it away, Jude.
So this brought in $111,000.
Wow. That's really weird to me.
It needs more.
Bro, this is like my favorite movie I've seen in a long time.
I don't think it ever got a release outside of Australia.
I doubt it. It's so Australian, and that's part of the reason why I love it.
Jude, tell us about it.
All right. Brooke is an edgy photographer in the midst of a shoot when her model spontaneously zombifies and tries to eat her. She manages a call to her brother to warn him to get his family to safety before the zombies find him. Unfortunately, an undead home intruder infects his wife and daughter, and he's on his own to brave his way toward his sister until he meets up with a few other solo survivors. Meanwhile, his sister Brooke is being held hostage by a mad scientist who's been infecting her resistant blood type with the zombie virus and accidentally turned her into the queen of the zombies. Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Ruh-roh.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna start off right now with the minimal amount of salt that I have for this movie. The
Okay.
only thing that this movie has going against it is its low budget effects. The blood splatter and some of the effects are like very, very okay. I can see you had $100 grand to work with, and that's
Did
about
you
Disagree.
believe the zombie breath?
it. I guess.
Sure.
You're
Yeah.
going to need to explain what that is.
Okay,
Okay,
so
well, yeah.
zombies are gaseous beings, and that's how like the virus is spread through their gassy breath.
Well-
and then it kind of like deflammatizes everything that's flammable.
Nothing you said made sense.
All right, Kadish, why don't you just explain it?
All right. Well, basically, there's like this meteor that puts stuff into the atmosphere that turns people into zombies. Unless you have A positive blood, those people seem to be immune to the zombification. And so once people breathe in these spores from the meteor, basically zombies kind of create methane gas. Instead of exhaling carbon dioxide, it's methane. And then once the sun goes down and there's no photosynthesis, the methane builds up in their system and supercharges them and gives them like enhanced speed and strength and ferocity. And so everything else that has a combustible element to it doesn't work after like the meteor puts its spores on planet Earth. So gasoline doesn't work, engines don't work, generators don't work. And throughout this movie, the people figure out that if they hook up zombies to their engines, the methane that they exhale can be used as fuel. And so like that's like one of the interesting, unique bits about Wyrmwood.
I got some like Night of the Comet vibes from that too.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Jude, you texted us when we were watching this. You were like, I love the rules in this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
This movie is off the rails, crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It follows no
standard zombie rules.
It's these are I just chalk it up. Okay, Australian zombies.
Yeah, it's fucking different.
I'm good.
I'm here for anything that's different that I haven't already seen.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Did?
I absolutely
Wait, have you seen this before?
never.
Okay, cool.
This is a first watch for everybody.
Oh
right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
If you've watched this movie before you watched our podcast, more power
Kudos.
to you.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched this movie and you're listening to this podcast, go turn us off immediately. Go watch this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And then come
watch
back
it.
to us because this is a great fucking movie.
It's so good.
Really
I
good.
love this movie. I don't give a shit if it was $50,000 or $50 million budget. I actually watched this movie and I'm going, they used their little budget well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah.
Because it does not look like $150,000 or whatever movie to me. It does not. It's just from the get-go, I'm like, man, they really know how to stretch their buck here. Yeah, they really do. I was super impressed.
I love the freaking characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Aboriginal guy.
Oh yeah, he was great.
He was so freaking funny, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, mate, I got to take a piss. You got to pull over. And he's like, I'm not pulling the fucking truck over. He's like, you got it. I'm going to fucking piss right now. And he gets out and he's like, hold on a second. I got to hold my giant cock.
And it all starts off with him being like, "Hi, mate, tell me a story." And he's like, "I had to kill my wife and child today.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make that into a story."
And then they
It's
turn
like,
it into a
"All
story."
right, mate.
What about the part where like the old guy got bit and he's like, get the first aid kit
Oh,
from underneath
dude.
it, and then they open up the first aid kit and there's just like a bottle of beer in
There's
there.
two bottles of beer. This is my favorite bit in the entire movie. My absolute favorite bit.
Fosters.
Yeah. No, I think Australians hate Fosters. Because I asked.
That was a Foster's.
Was it?
I checked.
Guys,
Maybe Kadish can
Aaron-
confirm or deny.
Aaron, he's in the chat right now. Aaron is our Australian patron member. You got to. I talked to you about beer one time, and you said Australians hate Fosters. So I need an explanation as to
Is
why
it like
Fosters.
the Bud Light of beer in Australia?
Yeah, it's kind of like the
pretty much.
that's the shittiest beer you can buy, kind of thing.
Like it's a PBR?
Yeah, but in like America, we're like, oh, Fosters, yeah,
Because it has a commercial and they talk funny in it.
Fosters, Australian for beer.
Every single American that gets a Foster's in their hand, they go Australian for beer.
Yeah, exactly.
they just get this stupid accent that none of us can do right, you know. And it's just it's
Oh,
funny.
man. Kudos to the marketing department.
Like I don't know if this is Australian or New Zealand, but like, you know, there's a part where our two main characters come across this barn where these other two guys are kind of holed up and there's a whole bunch of zombies out there. And they're just like, oi, mate, can we come inside? There's a lot of zombies out here. And the guy just kind of looks around and is like, yeah, all right, come on in.
That was great. They're like exploring this area. They're trying to run away from the zombies, and they come across this little hut in the middle of nowhere, right? And these guys are already in it, and like this was the bit that
This is the most well-equipped hut.
Oh, it's
steel
amazing. They
shack
got
in the middle of
football
nowhere.
armor.
Oh, it's great.
It's amazing.
And this is where we learn that gasoline doesn't work like gasoline because of the zombie breath or whatever.
Because they're super smart and they figured it out.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, we're going to take that SUV or Jeep or whatever it is, and we're going to like get the fuck out of here. And they're like, he's like, we're not taking that anywhere.
And zombie blood is flammable.
Yeah, they found
and
that
then
out.
They learn that they can like use zombies as fuel.
Yeah, which was it was a great little way of them. They were just like hanging out partying, and the dude had a cigarette, and he like just flicked it on the floor next to the fire, next to the blood spill from the zombie, and it freaking lights up. And they were like, "Zombies can be used as fuel."
Begs the question: how did he light his cigarette in the first place? But
With a lighter.
you know what? Whatever.
This is just, listen, man, there's nothing in this thing makes any sense. If you're one of these people that goes to the movie and you ask too many questions in your brain, you're not going to like this movie. You're just not.
What's the brother's name? Brody.
But
Is it Brody?
if you're like, want to see literally every scene in this movie with the blood splatter in it. With that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's just super fun.
It is tons of fun.
This is the movie for you.
Yeah.
If you're into heads being blown off, lots of excessive fluid splattering around, with a mad scientist and zombies stapled to walls, and hot chicks. Oh God, this movie is great.
So it's crazy how this movie goes from like super funny, goofy Australian humor to like really freaking dark with the dude who had to kill his daughter and his wife. Like that.
The plot of this movie is basically the main character, Barry. He's trying to find his sister who's in like the next town over so he can save her from the apocalypse after being forced to kill his wife and child. And the whole Road of the Dead thing is that he teams up with these other guys who basically fix up this old car, hook it up to zombies so that like it can actually run. And so like they're trying to drive down the road to get to this next town over to rescue his sister. In the meantime, the government has kidnapped his sister and is doing experiments on her because people with A positive blood who haven't turned into zombies have like some type of like element to them that they're trying to figure out, like, you know, how to utilize this as a weapon.
They're naturally resistant.
I think it's A negative blood, but it does fine.
It's A something.
Yeah, A something.
It's Barry and Brooke.
And Barry and Brooke. Dude, Brooke is a freaking badass.
Oh, yeah.
Her whole story arc in this movie, she spends more than half the movie tied up in the back of a freaking moving truck.
Even before she becomes the queen of the zombies, she's like jumping up into the rafters to get away from zombies. Like she's spry.
She's already a badass.
Yeah.
But she spends half the movie tied up in this box truck and it's driving. It's a government truck that's driving from point A to point B. It's like always on the move. And this super creepy freaking evil scientist, like Frankenstein type dude.
He's great.
Nuts.
I love him.
Completely nuts. And he keeps injecting her with zombie blood or zombie spinal fluid. And he's like, and they have like little beepers on their collar, so he knows when the next injection has to happen.
And he's like jamming out to his tunes while he's doing it.
Loves
he's
his
fucking
job.
loony.
It's so good.
He loves his job.
I said while we were talking about cooties a few minutes ago that it reminds me a lot of stuff like from Fright Dome here in Vegas during Halloween. The mad scientist lab is straight out of a haunted house.
I can totally picture the mad scientist just like coming up to you while you're trying to like check out a haunted house and him being like fucking weird in your face and like
lab
pretending to inject you.
It's something you would walk through. And they'd have actors tied to the wall.
Yeah.
It's
for sure.
It's so good.
It's so great, dude.
I mean, it's low budget, but it doesn't look low budget to me. I'm sorry. It does not look low budget to me.
It looks like an indie film.
$1.4
It looks
million.
like an indie film.
Low budget seems like you're like insulting somebody, but this it just feels like an indie film.
This doesn't feel like we give Matt shit about bad taste.
Yeah.
That looks low budget. All right, it looks low budget. It does. It looks like some college kids
This does not look like it took years to film though.
This doesn't look like It just doesn't look like that to me.
Yeah.
You know, Bad Taste was made in the 80s.
Right. No,
This movie was
I don't
made
mean to
in
talk shit
2011.
about it. I get it.
And they had aliens.
Bad Taste was also shot on film.
Okay.
This was shot on digital video.
Yep.
He's going to defend Bad Taste.
He has to swoop in and be the hero of Bad Taste anytime we chick talk
This
it.
movie's way better.
Okay, all right,
way
all right.
better.
Anyway, like I was saying, Brooke, the standout character in this show, besides the Aboriginal dude, which I freaking love.
Oh,
that
he
guy.
was great.
He was so awesome.
Yeah.
I wish what is his name? Do we have his name? What's his?
So his name is Benny.
Benny. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey, Benny. I freaking love that guy.
Has he been in other stuff, or is he just like some dude?
Just some dude.
Just some dude.
I love it. I want to meet Benny. I want to meet the actor who plays Benny.
We should get him on the interview.
Dude, that would be dope.
Oh, we should.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Aaron.
Matt.
You're Australian.
Be our people, bro.
It says that he was in Utopia, which I'm assuming is the British version.
I bet we could talk to the fucking showrunner of this.
Probably.
The director, writer dude.
Probably. We could reach out to him. Anyways.
It's actually two. It's a brother team.
Okay.
It's the
Excellent.
Roache-Turner brothers.
Let's do it. Let's find these
I'm going to
guys.
find those guys on Instagram and DM them tonight.
Right. Damn
They're actually working on a new movie right now called Necromancer.
Oh.
These guys are so in. These guys are
It's
so in our vein.
Wyrmwood Part 3.
This is
The
our jam.
Necromancer.
This is our jam,
It
bro.
really is.
Well, it's interesting because they actually tried to turn this into a TV series. It was called Wyrmwood Chronicles of the Dead, and they actually shot like a short version of it to try to sell it to networks.
Okay.
and no one was picking up what they were putting down. And so like they basically just took all that energy and made Wyrmwood Apocalypse instead.
And I feel like that's what we saw when we looked up to see if these were out, was those, like this one and that one. And we were like, yeah, they're out. We can watch them. And then we went to go look for it. We were like, oh.
So I know we can't watch it yet, but I think if you go to YouTube, you can watch like the first 6 minutes or some shit like that of Wyrmwood Apocalypse.
Okay.
That's actually what you're talking about, is the teaser for Wyrmwood Chronicles of the Dead.
Okay. Well, it's bonkers.
No, it's basically like Brooke's story in the back of that truck, but like taken to like an extreme level.
We should do a trailer reaction right now.
Yeah, we should.
I was going to say that, but I didn't know if the producer would be up to the task.
It's just bonkers, dude.
He's been fucking with me all day. Let's do it.
It's just.
We'll keep talking. See if you can pull that up for us.
This stuff is so
Jamie,
crazy.
pull that up. Get that out. Send it to the internet.
I'm just gonna let the editor edit in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, do that.
That's me. All right. Again, I'm going back to Brooke because I freaking love her story. Like that whole scene where she's stuck in there and this guy's experimenting on her and she's slowly discovering. She's like, the more fucked up she gets, she's like,
every injection she gets,
she's
of the mutant blood.
She's starting to like mentally connect with the zombies.
And then when he gets infected, he's like, I'm fucked. And she's like, listen, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You should probably let me go. And he's like, you know what? I'm fucked. I should probably let you go.
Dude, it's the freaking box truck the whole thing that happens in the back of the box truck is freaking insane. So creepy. And I loved it. And Brooke, when she pops out and she knows that she can control zombies and she goes full freaking zombie queen and she's like, oh, I'm going to wreck house to do. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah. And Benny, God bless him, he gets himself infected to help save the day.
Yes. Yeah. So they get caught, but the government.
Like, I'm going to die anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just do it like this. It's like, okay.
So the ragtag group of survivors meets the government officials who come in and they butt heads and there's like this little mini war that happens. And Benny gets shot in the gut and he's like, I'm not going to make it, mate. And he's like, if you just turn me into a zombie and then Brooke can control me and I can help you get out of this thing. And what is his name? Bradey, or what was the... Barry. No, Barry's the
brother. Benny is the friend.
There's too many B's.
A lot of B's.
Benny.
Brooke is the sister.
I am too drunk to keep that straight.
The Bee Gees are the soundtrack.
So he's going to sacrifice himself to be able to save these guys. And he does. He gets bit by the zombie, turns into one. And then
he's
Brooke.
like, I got this boomerang.
Yeah, I've got this boomerang. It's sharp as fuck.
He's like, I keep it underneath the car.
Just for special occasions.
I love it. It's so bonkers.
He's like, I knew this would happen one day.
And they get in the fight with the government guys. They take him out, and there's this big fight, the ending fight where one of the B names has to fight the army to save Brooke. Barry saves Brooke. Barry. Hey, Barry. But no, it's just the jokes are on point. The Australian sense of humor, the over-the-top gore. It works, man. It's so fun.
Usually, I don't like gory movies, but man, this thing was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. This thing was so much fun. And it was just, I never took it seriously. I didn't think it was like I almost looked at it almost as like a gory comedy.
So it really is kind of like Bad Taste meets Evil Dead 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of like indie feel to it.
Right.
The camera work is very gonzo. Like the ideas are off the wall. It's very kind of gory and gross in some spaces. So I misspoke a little bit earlier where I said it was 5 years. It was over the course of 4 years. Basically, they shot on the weekends over the course of 4 years to make this movie. And there's a scene in here where basically Barry runs into another guy named Chalker, who was like in the pickup truck right after he kills his family.
In the tunnel.
Yeah. And that guy was originally supposed to be in the Benny role. He was going to be like the sidekick. And he ended up over the course of like a year, like booking another gig. And so like,
they had to kill him off.
Yeah. So like they just killed him off and replaced him with Benny in this movie because like this movie was it was a labor of love. They just made it over the span of years, paying for it with like credit cards and like, building all the sets themselves. It like when Alex said that it's very reminiscent of Bad Taste and how that movie was made.
Yeah.
Like it's 100% like, I feel like the brothers who directed this took a lot of inspiration from Peter Jackson and how he made Bad Taste, because this movie feels like Bad Taste 2.0 in a
Yeah,
way.
it kind of does. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Maybe you know what? Maybe I'll go back and I'll rewatch Bad Taste.
You're not gonna
Just-
like it.
No, don't do that.
But you guys know how I am. I don't like to not watch things. I need to be able to have reference.
The way this film was made is exactly the same thing that happened with Bad Taste, and that's kind of that's one of the reasons why I respected Bad Taste.
Right.
This movie did the same thing. It's just it's more updated. It's more modern,
I look at this movie and I feel like I'm watching a guerrilla-made movie. Like it was just like it was made as cheaply as they could, but it was done as well as possible with what they had.
Dude, that truck that they had
Nothing in this movie for what the story they're trying to tell feels out of place. It's a very simple story. It's a very simple movie, but everything is so over the top and wild and makes your brain and my eyes go, what the fuck am I watching right now? You know, it just works. The zombies are scary, dude.
Yeah.
They're gory. They're blood everywhere. It's a nasty horror movie.
And I feel like it's
so good.
I feel like it's perfectly paced in order to get you from point A to point B, because this is a family man. He's got his family, he's got his wife, he's got his daughter, and like the way that they transition, like them getting infected, and like his daughter gets infected first.
It's kind of rough.
And
it's a hard story.
like, what are you gonna fucking do? It's still your daughter, and you don't know what's going on. And then like he's hugging his wife and she's like, I don't want to live without her.
Yep.
Yeah.
She intentionally allows herself to get infected, and he's holding her and she turns while he's holding her.
And he has to kill them.
And then he has to kill both of
then
them. It's fucked.
he tries to kill
and this happens
himself.
right in the beginning. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah. And the
it's not that much
run
of a
out of
spoiler.
nails.
He runs out of nails. He tries to kill himself and he can't do it. And then he tries to steal the other dude's gun. And the guy's like, mate, I'm not going to let you do it, mate. Like, no.
Yeah, we're the only humans left,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, and the funny thing about Chalker is, so like, they're in the woods, and Benny accidentally like shoots Chalker in the head, and that's how they kill off that character. And Benny's like, oi, like, was that guy a zombie? And he's like, no, man. And he's like, oh, that's too bad.
It's like, oh well, he would have been in it pretty soon.
Benny is the comic relief.
Yeah.
And the dude with the handlebar
dude, I love
mustache.
Benny.
Yeah, 'cause,
Benny's
like,
amazing.
Frank. Benny's story is that they were hunting or something? They're just in the woods.
They're on a walkabout.
They're going on a walkabout, and he's like, and all of a sudden, what's his name? Frank turned into a zombie.
No, it was his two brothers.
Oh yeah, it was his brother, and he's like, and then I shot his legs out.
Yeah.
and then
he crawled after me.
He kept crawling after me, so I didn't know what to do, and like his whole story is like just like
was really
this
good.
bumbling fucking fool, and he's like, oh, I guess I should kill him.
Yeah. That's
Sorry,
it's
mate.
that, like Australian, New Zealand humor.
Here's the thing that I liked about this movie is that we've all watched a million zombie movies and TV shows, right? None of them have the zombie rules that this movie
Oh,
set
this
up.
is unique.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
that's what I liked
completely,
about it.
it's completely unique, and I love it.
Zombie
So
breath?
for that.
It was a freaking game changer when they realized they
Absolutely.
could use zombies as fuel
Oh
for their
god, it
truck.
was
Yes.
so
I
funny.
I was like, so they hooked up this freaking compressor and they stuck a freaking mask on the zombie.
Yeah.
And as it was breathing, it was feeding the compressor, which was then feeding the truck. And they're like, all right, we're out of gas. We need to get another zombie.
yeah,
I was like, this is
Go get another
bananas.
There
zombie.
are a couple more zombies in the back.
They had a cage of zombies, which acted as a gas tank.
Yeah, they're basically like gas cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at night they don't work.
Yeah, but at night,
So
they
you gotta
found that out
find,
the
you
hard
gotta,
way.
you gotta hole up and camp out at
Yeah.
nighttime.
And
it
Brooke
was-
is freaking smoking hot.
Yeah,
in this movie, too.
yeah, and we gotta talk about Brooke.
The queen zombie.
Yeah, because her character is amazing. I'm
badass.
sorry, I really like what they did there. I like the mad scientist that created her by accident.
Well, the
Just-
funny thing is that, so how we got turned on to Wyrmwood to begin with, it was you saw a trailer
I saw
for
a trailer.
Wyrmwood Apocalypse.
Yeah,
And we watched the trailer. In fact, we did a trailer reaction
we're all
for
like,
it.
"What the fuck is this?"
And Brooke, she comes back in the sequel, and while we were watching the trailer, Alex was like, "Is that a hot zombie?"
yeah,
and so like you were like, based off of the trailer for Wyrmwood Apocalypse, you were like, we have to watch the first one, and we got to watch this one.
I'm so glad we did.
And so that was the genesis of this episode.
We will watch the next one.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
if I can
for
get a
sure.
hold of it after it comes out in theaters,
I'm really hoping that Cooties has a sequel. Now we can just do the two.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with this. And Brooke is such a badass. That smoky eyeliner she has on,
Oh,
I can
God.
watch her story all freaking day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
It's just like I put on some makeup and then I I got really sweaty.
Yeah.
That's the fucking look. And it works.
It
It
works.
fucking works.
And she even gets like shot in the boob at the end.
Yeah. Well, she gets shot by
Which
the
doesn't
government.
kill her because she's a fucking badass queen of the zombies.
Queen Zombie. Dude, Brooke
Yeah.
turns into Queen Zombie. She literally takes a bullet out by hand.
Oh, yeah.
And like throws it away. And she's like, this is it. This is who I am now. And she like calls the zombie army.
She flicks that bullet at him like a cigarette.
Yes. Give me another cigarette, you whore.
You whore.
It's so good, dude. This movie's so bananas that it works. It's
Yeah.
so over the top crazy.
100%
I'm so happy we
recommend.
watched this.
I am too.
I'm so-
I loved it.
It's so in our
Recommend?
zone.
Oh, 100% recommend.
Recommend?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Recommend?
absolutely.
Do you recommend it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Okay.
all in agreement. This has never happened.
I'm not sure what our scores are going to be, but we all like it.
Oh, I don't know. Am I allowed to give this movie a 5-star?
You
Because
can give it whatever you want.
I'd watch it again in a second.
Yeah,
I'd do a live watch party on
we
Discord.
can give it a
Yeah.
we can give it a independent low budget movie score.
Okay, is that a thing?
Yeah,
It is now.
in the realm of low budget, $1.4 million, zombie movies.
What's our low budget?
What
What's
do you
our
rate
low
that?
budget?
I
thing?
mean, you can't put it up against like Indiana Jones.
How about
No.
we just categorize it as an Australian movie?
Okay. Oh, I
Do
know.
they get their own category?
What are
Oh,
the-
if it goes up against Bad Taste, this is a 6-star movie. Seriously, we need a fist bump cam.
Fist bump cam.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
I had a dream
I
last
don't
night that we
know.
got one.
Okay.
I like adore this movie. So like,
I do.
It's-
I'm a fan, man.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
like.
It's
think-
like every once in a while we come across these things that have absolutely no buzz. They're impossible to find unless you just like randomly
that's
come
what we
across
do
it.
though.
But and we found this thing
Yeah.
and God damn it, I'm gonna promote the shit out of this series.
Yeah,
because
I'm seriously. I'm
this
gonna see
is
if I can.
so good.
I'm
It
gonna
is
find
so
the
much
people
fun.
that made it on Instagram, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna reach out to them. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, bro, you need to come on our show."
Yeah, I hope this turns into like a full series.
Yeah. I'm in. I want a trilogy of Wyrmwood.
Yeah.
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 So the second one's coming out. I want the next one to come out in the next 2 years.
And I want part
I'm
3
gonna-
to
I'm
be
just gonna
called
say-
The Necromancer.
I'm just gonna say 4-star. It's a 4-star
Yeah.
one. It's not 5 because they're limited by the budget, which I completely understand. I'm not trying to use that against them, but damn, this is a good
Listen,
movie.
for the budget, they did great.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
What's your star?
Yeah,
rating?
they really
I'm-
stretched out the 160,000.
You can do a lot with $1.4 million.
You guys, you stop.
They're gonna fight about this later.
I know. I'm glad we're
Go ahead.
leaving.
What's your-
No, I'm
He has a week to heal up
they're
before
gonna
you
have
see him again.
they're gonna bang great later tonight. So it's
1.4. No, it's 100,000. $160,000.
neighbors are gonna hear it.
That's so gross.
Dude, I made her blush.
No, I was just picturing all of
She
the ways
knows.
I could kill him.
She knows angry sex is the best.
Just like holding a pillow over his face. Shh, 1.4.
Okay, now I have to leave that whole thing.
All right.
All right, go ahead, baby. What is it?
I'm with you. I'm not giving it a 5, but I'm gonna go a hard 4.
Okay.
Hard 4, and I absolutely cannot wait
I'm gonna give it 4.
to Wyrmwood Apocalypse. I'm so looking. I haven't been looking forward to a movie like this since like I can't remember. I don't know, man.
You
It's just
gotta
like-
watch it as soon as it comes
Yeah,
out in
I
America.
I have to watch this movie.
I have to watch it a week before it comes out.
Yeah, I want a screener. I want this thing now.
Oh,
For
man.
sure.
I'm definitely gonna give it 4 beer-filled med kits out of 5.
4 Fostas. 4
Fostas.
June, how about you?
I totally agree. This was so much fun. I'm legit upset that we didn't get to watch the next
know,
one.
man.
I am very vigorously hoping that there is a third one. I would love for there to be a whole Wyrmwood like universe.
I think there's going to be.
I
yeah,
hope.
I hope. I
'Cause
hope.
We're starting that now.
Yeah.
Are we the Wyrmwood fan?
Where are we are?
All right.
The
cool.
stateside Wyrmwood fan
We
club.
are such weirdos for
We are.
obscure
Dude,
things.
This is what we
Norseman
do,
and
though.
Yeah.
Wyrmwood.
Yeah,
Let's
seriously.
go.
And see.
And see, like
Yeah.
one of the things that we talked about for this podcast is like we're not going to talk about Marvel or Star Wars
No.
or anything
Yeah.
that's like mainstream these days. We need to find the real nerdy shit that nobody else talks about.
I
That's
mean,
who
when we
are.
did the trailer reaction, I knew there was something
We were
special there. We're
so
like,
into
what
it.
the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am in agreement with you. I give it 4 out of 5. Good on, mates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, Ray. Candice, take it away. What's your star rating for this?
All right. I guess I'm going to have to yuck some yum here.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, you guys enjoyed this movie way more than I did. It's not a bad movie. It's a lot of fun. It's very creative, but it's not a 4-star movie. I'm going to give it a solid, I don't know, like 3 gross spinal injections.
That's all right.
fine.
That's
That's
fine.
okay.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to say like a 2.
We grade on emotion, you grade on technicality, and I think that's completely fair.
Yeah. All right. That is it for our Salty Nerd Podcast Zombie Week. Thank you for tuning in. Go check out Wyrmwood right now.
Seriously, go check
Go
it
support
Right
the crap
now.
out of this.
out.
And
Amazon, it's out there.
by the time this episode is edited and comes out, the Wyrmwood Apocalypse movie will be out in Australia.
Yeah, just in Australia.
In Australia. So we're going to find a way to watch
Have your
it.
friends
We'll find a
bootleg
way.
it.
Yeah.
Did we have to pay for this one? Is it
I
on Prime? I think it was on Prime.
yeah, I thought I rented it.
I
Okay.
think there's just watch.com. You'll be able to find it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for today's podcast. The whiskey is hitting hard. Shout out to freaking High West Whiskey, man. You made this podcast live.
Yeah.
Vader, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me at MattVader74 on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and some other things. And
Okay.
every Saturday morning,
There you go.
on this here channel,
Fuck, took you forever to get there.
with me and Matthew and Danny the Dork Knight joins us usually, and we talk about nerd stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go.
Great. Jude, where can they find you at?
You can find me at the Salty Nerd Podcast on Facebook, and also I am Ju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Excellent. Matthew Kadish, take it away.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. Kadishbooks.com will take you to my Amazon page where you can check out all my novels. And also be sure to go to saltynerd.com/rate and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, because we need 200 of those suckers to get accredited as official movie reviewers for Rotten Tomatoes. So if you guys can help us out, if you got an iPhone, just head on over there. You don't need to write a review, just need to leave a star rating, and we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you're currently listening to this on just audio, scroll down on Apple iTunes, hit that 5 stars, and then walk away.
All you gotta do. It's real simple.
Walk away.
Really quick, really fast.
Excellent. All right, guys, you can find me exclusively on saltynerddiscord.com. I am in that chat every single day, hanging out with our people who love this podcast and love talking about movies and all kinds of nerdy stuff. Head over to saltynerddiscord.com. Check it out. I will be there to say hello to you as soon as you log in. All right, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast, and stay tuned. We are definitely going to be following Wyrmwood with great interest, as Emperor Palpatine would say. All right, everybody, stay salty.